The man poured boiling water into the sink. Then he put the clay into the water. After it completely melted, he shaped the clay into a curve. Then he placed it into a prepared mold. Then he pressed down with all his strength. A fake handgun was now complete. Then the man knocked on the door and handed the gun to his partner. The robber then swaggered into the cabin. Everyone was stunned at the sight. Two other accomplices rushed out as well. The three robbers quickly took control of the passengers. They took a flight attendant hostage and forced her to reveal the air marshal's identity. At this time, the captain noticed something was wrong in the cabin. He immediately set the transponder to 7,500. Air traffic control quickly realized the situation, but then a passenger's secret filming was discovered. To better control everyone, the robbers not only confiscated their phones, they even herded all the passengers into economy class. Then the robbers again took the flight attendant hostage, demanding the captain open the cockpit door, but they were refused. The robbers had no choice. They could only use the phone to demand the government release their leader, but to everyone's surprise, lastly was the GPS on the phone SIM card. If someone touched the SIM card, or the shipment went off course, they would be notified immediately, and most importantly they insured it for a huge sum. But what they never expected was that there was a mole inside their team. Nick secretly met with the minister's secretary, because if he could get the other half of the password, even if the diamonds were lost, the minister would suffer no loss, and the two of them could rise to power. It was clearly a risk-free deal, but since the phone had GPS, the best place to act was on the plane, so Nick decided to team up with his girlfriend. Although they didn't know the courier's exact identity, for safety the company required him not to eat or drink during transit, but their cleverness backfired, and it became their way to identify the target. He found the courier's bag, and finally located the case containing the phone, but just after entering the password, he suddenly felt a chill behind him. At some point, a robber had appeared behind him. Nick calmly hid the safe, and lied that the medicine wasn't here, but the asthma attack he had moments ago was suddenly gone. Seeing his cover about to be blown, Nick quickly began breathing heavily again, but there was no fooling them twice. The robber punched him in the nose. The noise alerted the others. Seeing Nick covered in blood, the robbers lost all sympathy and dragged him back. Lisa panicked at the sight and begged them to treat Nick. Meanwhile, to protect the hundreds of passengers, when the robbers saw the diamonds, Nick took the chance when he turned to call for help, to attack from behind. At that moment the plane landed. The violent jolt caused the gun to fire. The sound alerted the others, but they arrived to find their partner was dead. Without a word the robbers beat Nick. During the struggle, Nick managed to hide the phone. When another robber arrived, Nick was completely subdued. They dragged him into the restroom. Meanwhile the air marshal broke free. Seeing Nick being beaten, the man grabbed the dropped gun and shot the robbers without hesitation. But after killing both men, the crisis was not over. Instead, a bigger problem arose. When the situation became known, he found a drunk man fast asleep. After the captain confirmed, they learned he was the real air marshal.
आपने जिन हाईजैकर्स को मारा उनकी बॉडी कहाँ है? हाईजैक? अरे आपका प्लेन हाईजैक हुआ था, टेररिस्ट थे, आपने उनको मारा, उनकी बॉडी कहाँ है?
नो सर, मैंने किसी को नहीं मारा।
क्या बकवास कर रहे हैं आप?
I didn't kill anyone. मैं तो बेहोश था।
अगर आपने नहीं मारा तो फिर किसने मारा?
मुझे नहीं पता सर किसने मारा है। मैं तो अपने सेंस में ही नहीं था।
Hearing this, the sheriff realized things were far from simple. The secretary gave him 1 hour to find the real diamonds, or his entire family would die. But Nick had no idea where the problem was, let alone how to find them, as he was at a loss. Lisa secretly came to him. After hearing the full story, she was shocked, but thinking of their future, Lisa hugged Nick tightly. She didn't want money to separate them, but without money how could they start over? Nick angrily grabbed her by the neck.
You think this is a fucking joke? You think मैं यहाँ तक मजाक करके पहुँचाऊँ? ये क्या फिर से शुरू करेंगे? मैं पूरी प्लानिंग फिर से शुरू कर दूँ? या मैं ये अपना मुंह फिर से तोड़वा लूँ?
Nick grew angrier, and finally admitted he never loved Lisa. His only purpose in approaching her was to steal the diamonds. He didn't care if she lived or died. Then he stormed out. Lisa rushed to ask what was wrong. Nick claimed an employee had lost diamonds months ago, and those two were the owner's men, demanding repayment, or they would charge him with theft. But Lisa was furious at hearing this. Her father had died in a robbery before her eyes. Seeing her disappointment, Nick quickly rebuilt his heroic image, and promised to settle it soon. But after a prenatal checkup, they again ran into the debt collectors. He tried to take Lisa away, but they would not let him go. Seeing her husband beaten, Lisa ran over, only to be kicked away. Nick went mad at the sight, and beat them violently. When she woke again, she was in the hospital. Her baby was gone. Nick rushed in to comfort her, but then, the phone rang again. Facing threats, her beloved husband never loved her. He was a complete scumbag, and his anger was not over their lost child, but over his handsome face being hit. Lisa was in disbelief, but confident Nick didn't know. He had provoked provoked a dangerous woman. To get revenge, Lisa contacted her old partners. They had once been a famous theft crew, but disbanded when she grew tired of it. Now their leader was in trouble. They would avenge her. Then using chocolate, they made a fake bomb, finally creating chaos. While everyone ran off the plane in panic, the three robbers changed clothes and walked off openly. The fake air marshal used his identity to escape with the diamonds. They chose a small airport because it couldn't hold all passengers. The police were overwhelmed. Even if they found the real robbers, they had no evidence. Passengers didn't know who sat beside them. Even the flight attendants couldn't say who was missing. The beaten fat man became a hero. Nick tried hard to clear his name. Everyone had a reason to be on the flight, except one partner whose reason was weak, facing the media. The minister had already chosen a scapegoat. The diamond theft plan had been gifted to him by Lisa. Nick now realized everything was Lisa's scheme, but it was too late for regret. All that awaited him was a hijacking charge. Lisa had already taken a new identity and started